So as I was recounting this morning past events, as I was backward thinking, I've been able to detach myself somewhat from the event so that I can still have the movie show that plays in my mind about past events and all the feelings that come along with it, because I'm fully participating in this type of active imagination. And I remain detached. I have this detachment. I think that this might be something similar to what writers experience when they write a story. For me, these are my actual past events, and these are my actual feelings about them. And I'm detaching myself from these feelings, and I can't help but realize that I've changed somehow. I can't go back to who I was or where I was at. And as many people understand with relationships, they need to progress and grow, and they can be severed, and oftentimes they start up right where they stopped. Well, I look at the main event that can encompass all of the severing of relationships is one of the initiation into adulthood. And the way I behaved prior to was infantile, childish. It was right on time. I was not maldeveloped. I didn't develop incorrectly. I developed the way I developed. I don't see myself as wrong in the past, because I understand how I can look back and understand personally how all these events came about within me to bring about my experience. So I understand it was just a natural process of growth. However, the people involved it's a natural process to want to start up where we left off. And if we don't do that, there is a detachment, a severing of continuity. And it's not continuous, it's blocks. It would be like reading a chapter of one book and then reading a chapter of another book. They're completely unconnected. There's no continuity there. And I think in long-term relationships, what occurs is a continuity, and living that continuity on a daily basis can also influence the continuity in one's life, the smoothness, the order and understanding in what we experience in other relationships, in life as a whole. So long-term relationships are very important to bring this about. And however, I think we become a bit over-dependent oftentimes on needing a relationship, a particular relationship, to bring this continuity. I seem to have always been able to go within, turn inward, and discover a continuity. And if the continuity was not found within me, a patience arose, and my eyes would seek out facts, objective experiences that might bring continuity to whatever was not continuous, not smooth and ordered. However, I realize that most people require a long-term relationship with another individual, or a job, or employment, religion, economic, politic, whatever it may be, to bring that continuity, to bring that stability, that order to their life. And I don't have that dependency. In fact, I rely more inwardly, and I will always come to a point where I realize I've got to inform the chaos of the order. I've got to bring the order to the chaos. However, with this inward turnness, I've realized that I have to take the proper stance and posture. There is a kindness, a gentleness to my inward relationship to bringing continuity and order. I present myself to the disorder, and I say, okay, let's work here, in a very gentle, kind-hearted fashion. However, I meet people outside that actually think that it's like a football game, and we need to be offensive and defensive, and who's got the ball and who doesn't have the ball, who's in possession, who's not in possession, the haves, the have-nots, and it's a rather brutal and strategic, defensive and offensive required technique to overpower. And that hasn't been my experience. I understand it. I have it's not difficult for me to accept that there are some situations in which these types of behaviors are required, but not inwardly. In fact, that kind of behavior done to myself inwardly causes such a war between heaven and hell, order and chaos, that I lose my life, and all the world becomes a battlefield.